What are the areas that are going to have the best muscular gains as he continues to make progress? He has relatively long forearm flexors. With that said, they're also pretty round. Now, what I would say is if he really wants to have crazy forearms, he's also going to have to bring out the brachioradialis. But I look at this area as something that could be special. But this is a trade-off, because if we look at the bicep is probably going to be long, but it's probably not going to be super peaky. It's probably not going to have that big, massive appearance. So the forearms might be able to be pretty thick, but the biceps would more so be kind of a supplemental feature. With that said, I would try to get the forearms as big as possible, work on the brachioradialis, have a little bit more details in the arms, and not worry too much about having the peakiest biceps, but instead try to get as big of triceps as possible. This is going to give him more of that mass look while still being able to profit off of those forearm inserts. Then if we look at kind of the chest is more medium. The chest could be pretty big. If we bring up the triceps and we bring up the chest, that could have a lot more of a stacked kind of a look. Those are some areas that I think would come a little bit easier for this kind of physique, because whenever we look at the back has a lot more development in the traps. Generally, people with bigger traps are going to have a little bit more of an easy time pressing because that's going to be their stability. And then you're going to be able to actually activate your chest. So we see a lot more development in kind of his upper and middle traps. We see a lot more development in his front delts. The overall teres, the infraspinatus, maybe the detail muscles are not going to be a strength, at least in the beginning. And even with his build, I don't even necessarily think that the lats are going to be the best part of his physique. And then since he has a little bit thicker of a midsection right here, I would still probably double down and do some heavy ab exercises, because if he had some thick abdominals, even if he wants to rock at a little bit higher of a body fat percentage, he still could potentially have some abs show through by having thicker abdominals. So there's a couple key areas that might grow a little bit better, but there's also some areas that he might want to focus on to see if he can grow them as much as possible to give him the best looking physique based on his genetics.